money, 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 money. You don't really want to play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really wanna play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say. Stay up out of my way. Cause money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Keep playing with this Goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud.
To go to him when he's in this position on the goal line. Burrow looks in his direction, pocket collapses, rolls right. He's gonna run for it. Flag.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Burrow's clutch football is loose. Washington had recovered initially, and who's got it? Touchback, Washington, the recovery in the end zone. It's Darby. Oh, disaster. And we will check the flag here. But Chase Young.
That's right. It's a great day. It was a great game for the upset of the week. Week 10, Washington football team upsets the reigning NFL Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, drops them to 6-3, puts the Washington football team to 3-6 with I'm not gonna say unpredicted because myself and Paul, the boxing guy, did predict a victory in this game. The Washington football team had said that this game was, pretty important to them because they felt like they left a lot on the field in a wild card game from last year. So they felt they had a lot to prove, along with coming off of the bye week in the first half of the season, the way they looked. Yeah, they definitely had a lot to prove. Excuse me. I forgot to grab my adult beverage before the show. But yeah, we definitely saw an improved team, especially coming off the bye. Both teams are coming off the bye. Both teams had injuries. So there was no excuse, for someone to say, oh, well, Tampa this, Tampa that. This team played the best football of the season. They played the full 60 minutes. They played offensively, defensively, and played well on special teams. They played a complete game, and this was definitely the best game of the season. Effort-wise, player-wise, coaching-wise, game planning-wise, this was a great victory for this organization and franchise right now before all that went down in the first half of the season with the play on the field. I'm not even concerned about all the other extracurricular stuff that goes on in the fake DC sports media. I'm speaking as on the field product. We've seen in recent weeks that they've outgained their opponents, but have been shut down in the red zone. They fixed that problem today. They were able to get touchdowns when they got into the red zone. Defense started balling out in the first quarter, getting 2 interceptions off of Tom Brady, which I saw a stat say that was the first time that that had happened since like 2012. So Jonathan Allen, who got the extension, some folks were complaining, saying that he didn't deserve that and he's not the best member of the line. But as we've seen this year so far, he's been the most consistent member of that defensive line. He's been healthy. He's been in there. He's been getting sacks. He's been stopping the run. He's been causing pressure. And he's been taking up double teams and allowing other people to get pressure. So, yeah, he definitely deserved that extension. And he's definitely living up to that contract. I didn't do a pregame this morning with my keys to victory because they're basically all the same every week. keys to victory. And the question is Scott Turner is going to have the offense and the right mindset and the right game plan? And is Jack Del Rio going to use his defensive personnel and put them in a position to win? And I can honestly say this week that, yes, they deserve the credit for adjusting their game plans, their thought processes, putting people in different positions, different places to make things happen and make the team better. Offensively, we thought we were getting Brandon Sheriff back after he was gone for a few weeks. Then boom, he goes down in the third quarter. And you have Chase Young going down. That's why I played that little snippet from last year, him knocking the crap out of Joe Burrow and forcing the fumble. Unfortunately, looks like he'll be done for the rest of the season. Possible ACL tear. When I saw the injury, when I saw the play, so he went down to a non-contact injury. I pretty much figured it was the ACL. At first, they said he just wouldn't return, so I was hoping it was maybe just a tear. But about 10 minutes after that, they got the word that it's most likely a tear. He'll be getting the MRI tomorrow. And so there is some bad news with this victory on upcoming Victory Monday. And ironically, I guess I got my birthday present early because my birthday is tomorrow. And yeah, they definitely pulled out a victory for me today. Some of the other games that I picked them, I pick them. Oh man, I have some upsets again today. It's been rough. If you've been following along, I'm still in ninth place. I was top of the league last year now. In the bottom of the league, it's been a rough couple of weeks for me. A lot of upsets. But it was definitely a very entertaining game, and I can honestly say this was Washington football team football that we were expecting to see at the beginning of the season. The fight, the hustle, the want, the will, the going out there no matter what happens. Didn't have that many penalties. The time of possession was almost 2-1. They had 39 minutes to Tampa Bay's 20 minutes. That's how you keep the top-ranked scoring offense from scoring 31 points with their average, is not letting them get the ball. How do you do that? By running the ball, by moving the chains. They were 11 for 19 on third down conversions this game. I don't remember the last time I can run off numbers like that from the Washington football team. That last drive in the fourth quarter to ice the game was 19 plays, 80 yards, 35 rush yards, 45 pass yards with a 10-minute and 26-second time of possession. Now, I've talked balance since the previous coach, run pass balance. Taylor Heineke threw the ball 32 times. They ran the ball as a team 33 times. It's not rocket science. It's football. And yeah, it's funny. Let's get to some of the folks that's chiming in. Appreciate y'all checking out the post game. I know I'm a little late, but got a new camera, got some new things I had to set up. So, let's see. Mark said he did not let Tampa's offense get any run after the catch plays. That's true. We saw some solid tackling. We saw swarming to the ball. Everybody was rallying. And if the first person didn't get there, there was somebody there immediately there to, secure the tackle. Got a lot of stuff going on here. Battery about to die on one phone and charged up on the other. It's crazy. Yeah, Mark, that was a hell of a drive to end the game. I hadn't seen anything like that from this offense in a long time. Dominance. They know what they were trying to do, running the ball. They were still, getting yards when they needed them, moving the chains. Heineke, this was definitely his best game of his career, best game of this season. He commanded the team, didn't make any bad decisions. He didn't make any questionable decisions. He, got yards with his feet when he needed to, got out of bounds. He didn't force the ball to Terry. Excuse me, which we saw a few times in recent games, him forcing it. That's what led to turnovers, the ball getting bad, or him forcing it into double coverage when he had a man wide open. We saw him leading his receivers, not waiting until they got open, but throwing them open. And they were speaking about that. Mark Schlereth, I'm not a big fan of his when he's on some of the sports shows and the way he talks about the team. But as a commentator, he nailed some great points about Heineke during the game. And he definitely has been maturing and definitely has been playing better as of late. Like I said, we've been out gaining the other teams. We just haven't been outscoring them because the red zone offense was bogged down. You know, a lot of folks haven't spoke about Logan Thomas not being there. Then you lose Seal Jones in this game. Then you had Bates, the rookie. He had a couple of key catches. So you see the team maturing and getting better week in and week out. Too bad it had to start out the way it did, but you know, still time left. Not saying they're gonna go on some miracle run, but improvement is the key in getting better and building a foundation that's going to continue to get better. What's going on, Robbie? Yeah, it definitely was early be there present. I appreciate you sharing this in groups. I shared to a couple myself. I'll try to share some more later. What's up? Say a big loss for us losing Chase, but it's next man up. Got to keep plugging along. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, injuries are part of the game. Sweat, he was already out. I forgot what injury he was out for this week, but that just shows the depth of this team now. You know, before we would lose starters and put the backups in, you know, game over. But the fact that you can, you know, lose the reigning defensive rookie of the year and plug someone else in, Casey Toohill, and he doesn't miss a beat. Not saying that he's Chase Young, but he know what to do. He's out there playing his assignment. He did make some plays in the run game and did, you know, in the pass rush game. So next man up is what it's all about. That's what you know, I'm trying to, you know, talk to some of the fans that's disappointed at where the team is and talking about they need to fire the coach and yada 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 yada. I'm like, dude, you can't fix 25, 20 years plus of dysfunction in one season in 10 weeks, man. It's not going to go that quickly. There's a lot of stuff that had to get sorted out. There's a lot of things that still has to get sorted out. There's a lot of things that, you know, they're working on. They have a younger team now. They don't have any true veteran, you know, leaders on this team. You know, they had John Bostic, he went out. You know, Ryan Kerrigan is no longer there. So, you know, you had those voices in the locker room now. The oldest players like around 28, 29 years old. So, you know, there's a lot of things that goes into, you know, winning and building and winning franchise, and it's going to take time. And it's all about progress week in and week out. If we saw a regression and, you know, or things staying the same the way it was in the beginning, then yeah, I can dig that. But, you know, and you got a first place schedule. So you're playing tougher competition than you played last year. So you got to look at it, you know, you just can't look at it in a bubble, man. You got to look at the whole big picture. Yeah, Robbie, that fourth drive, that 10-minute drive was beautiful. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. That was reminding me of some Joe Gibbs smash mouth football when they know that, you know, you got to do this. You're going to have to you want to try to run the ball. You're going to try to, you know, milk the clock. And there was nothing they could do about it. That's a beautiful feeling for a team, for a coach, and for players. So hopefully they can build some momentum because we all know next week they have Carolina, and Cam Newton is now back in Carolina. He's already got off to a hot start this week. I believe he has 2 touchdowns already, 1 rushing and 1 passing. So I already know a couple of folks is already clamoring, saying if the Washington team lose to Cam and the Panthers, their coach needs to be fired. He should have brought in Cam. I'm like, come on. Hey, man, y'all just some, I just love drama. I just love, you know, to stir the pot, man. I'm going to start calling you guys gloom and doom fans. I swear you fans, but where you're watching a game that they're winning and being the defending champs, and you're complaining about possibilities of next week if they lose to another team because of another. Like, come on, really? Let me get back on track. What's up, Greg? I ain't talked in a little while. I said everyone in the stadium, we're real fans to celebrate, party, and watch will make a run to make the playoffs. A lot. I'm not gonna read that last part, but hey, that would be great. But I don't know if that's possible. We're gonna see. You know, they have the 5 division games at the end of the year. If they can, you know, get to 500 or close to 500 with that run, they have a 1-0 record beating the Giants the first game of the division that they played. So it's possible. It's not out the realm of possibilities, but they would definitely have to get hot and get healthy because this injury bug is just atrocious right now with this team. Let's see. All right, what's up, Zach? Yeah, appreciate you checking in. Let's go over some of the numbers. This is one of the better post games, and I could say numbers wise when I running off the numbers for this team, even with the 2 victories that they had, these numbers are like I say, this is the best game this team played all season. And yeah, I got to take my hat off to coach, having them ready coming out the bye. We've seen this team under previous coaches come out of the bye week flat, losing and not even in the game. They were engaged and in the game from the jump, got a 3 and out off the break. You know, like they mentioned on the show, they give up the most points on first down, first possessions of the game. They got a 3 and out, got the ball, boom, field goal, boom, forced turnover. Should have got a touchdown, but boom, field goal, got another turnover, and boom, touchdown, and whole new ball game. So yeah, love to see that. Brady was 23 for 34, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions with an 80.5 quarterback rating. Heineke was 26 for 32 for 256, 1 touchdown, no interceptions with a 110.4 quarterback rating. Leonard Fournette had 11 carries, 47 yards with 4.3 yard average and no touchdowns. Antonio Gibson, 24 carries, 64 yards, 2.7 yard average, but 2 touchdowns. And like I said, you got to feed that, man. We had a stretch where his man was only getting 12 and 13 carries a game. And, you know, folks are, well, we need another running back. He can't get the tough yards, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, he averaged 2.7, but he moved the change we needed. We saw some 8-yard, 9-yard runs when they needed it. Definitely was good to see them feed the running game. Like I said, there was 33 rushes and 32 passes. Mark said, what was Tampa's total yards? Tampa had a total of 273 yards when they average, I believe, around close to 400 yards a game. They average around 31 points a game. They were held to 19. So, yeah, this defense definitely stood up. And that's one of the things the defensive players were talking about last year when they played the wild card game. They gave up over 500 yards of total offense and, you know, didn't win the game. And they feel like they left a lot of plays on the field last year, and they didn't want to make that make that mistake again, especially against the reigning Super Bowl champion now, being that they were chasing the Super Bowl championship last year when they beat the team. So I believe they definitely were focused. I wish we could have saw this focus, you know, earlier in the season against some of the competition that they faced. But unfortunately, you know, we didn't. But we're going to celebrate this performance today because, like I said, it's the best performance to date for this team all season. Wide receivers, Mike Evans had 2 catches with 62 yards with a 31-yard average and a touchdown. DeAndre Carter, second game in a row with a touchdown. 3 catches, 56 yards, 18.7 yard average with a touchdown. He's been stepping up big time. I was hoping for big things from Diami Brown. He just came off the injured list this week. He actually was active. You saw him doing a lot of motion, but I don't think they actually got him the ball. He got involved in the passing game, which is not a bad thing. I've always said that you got to give rookies time. Everybody doesn't hit the ground running in the NFL, and for wide receivers, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 seasons for everything to click and to understand. And if you go back to our post-draft coverage, I mentioned his route running would have to improve on the intermediate routes because he's not going to be able to run past everybody like he did in college. And I felt like his route running was a little, you know, had something to be desired. He wasn't going into his breaks sharp. He wasn't, you know, setting up his defender. He wasn't using, you know, seeing what leverage that the defender had and using that against him to find a way to get him to swivel his hips or get him out of position so he can get separation. And that's the one thing that we haven't seen him be able to do when he has had a chance to get into the game, that he hasn't been able to get separation away from the defenders like we need him to do to help move the chains and make this offense more well-rounded, especially with Curtis Samuel being, you know, out. I'm hoping that they just put him on the shelf for the rest of the season, you know, let him get his groin 100% going the next year. No questions. He can do training camp, preseason, and hit the ground running and, you know, come out with some, you know, weapons that we were expecting to have this year. Team stats. Tampa had 14 first downs. Washington had 23. Tampa was 4 for 10 on third down conversions, which is 40%, which the Washington football team had given up, I believe, close to 50. Washington went 11 for 19 on third down. Both teams went 2 for 2 on fourth down. Passing yards, Tampa Bay had 220. Washington had 256. 225, I'm sorry, minus the sacks. Tampa did have 5 sacks. Washington didn't get a sack on Brady officially, but they did hit him and kept pressure on him and kept him contained in the pocket. Rush yards, they held Tampa Bay to 53 rushing yards. Washington had 94 rush yards. Like I said, total for Tampa Bay was 273. Washington gained 320 yards on the ground. Tampa had 2 interceptions. Washington had the 1 fumble by the rookie wide receiver. Tampa had 5 penalties for 30 yards. Washington only had 3 penalties for 33 yards. So, like I say, this was a very clean game by this team, and it's something they can definitely build off of, which will go into the statement that Mark just made. Said he hoped we can carry this in the next week at Carolina. I definitely agree and feel the same way. I feel like this game is something that they should definitely be able to build off of, because it was like I said, they played a full 60 minutes. They played in all facets of the game. They were effective in all facets of the game, but there is still some improvement. You know, some of the play calling, that series with their back against the goal line, with some of the play calls that Turner decided to call instead of, at least trying to run the ball to try to get some room for the punter if he did have to punt. And then, getting pinned back deep, giving them the ball basically right at the 50-yard line, I believe like 45 or 50. And you giving a top scoring offense a short field, which they hadn't done all game. And then that gave them a little bit of momentum. And, they made it a 3-point game. And unfortunately, those play calls, led to that touchdown. Luckily, it didn't, the momentum didn't swing in Tampa's favor. The Washington football team didn't implode, didn't start making dumb mistakes, start feeling the pressure. And that's the stuff that people have to see, that, you have to look deep into the game. They always want to criticize and look deep into the losses, but don't want to look deep into the wins and stuff that they've seen, the stuff that they're improving on, and look and are better doing. And so, you can't always be gloom and doom all the time and only, talk about the team when they're not playing well. You have to talk about the things they're doing good. And we didn't see any blown coverages in the secondary. We had that one play to Evans, but that wasn't a blown coverage. That was just a great play designed by Arians, who was one of the better offensive coordinators, head coaches in the league. And Tom Brady, one of, if not the greatest quarterback in NFL history. So their top-rate offense, you're not going to keep them out of the end zone for the whole game. They're going to get a touchdown. They're going to score points. So that's what they do. But this defense kept them out the end zone on numerous occasions, holding the field goals, and the offense held the ball. So they didn't have the opportunities to try to score and run and get that 31 points. Like I said, they had 39 minutes. Washington had the ball. Tampa Bay only had the ball 20 minutes in that game. Almost 2-1. If you do that, there's a high probability that you're going to win the game. This is something that I've been preaching going back to the previous coach in my pre-games every week. That's why I did do the pre-game. I was like, I didn't said this stuff over and over again. And, let's see what happens if I don't say it. And I didn't go live this morning. And lo and behold, they upset the world. Honestly, I was a little tipsy from last night. Did a little B-Day celebrating. So, had to do a little something. But definitely we'll cover it more tomorrow night on Sports on the Hill podcast, birthday edition. We'll be breaking down the Capitals. We didn't know we weren't on air last week, so we do a quick recap of the week before and the week that just passed with Ovi surpassing Bret Hart to be number 4 on the all-time goal list. Then we'll be breaking down this Washington football team week 10 victory. I'll reach out to Dujanay or Big Hurt to see if they're available, see if we can get some of their insights on this great game. And then we'll be talking about the Wizards, who've been playing some good basketball. Actually had me watching NBA, and I haven't watched NBA in a while. So they're definitely playing some good ball. I might even chime in with the NBA roundtable a little bit, get my thoughts on what I've seen from this team so far. And definitely the coach, Wes Unseld Jr., is doing the damn thing. And I hope they continue to play hard, play defense, and keep doing what they're doing. And make sure you go check out the website, Sports OTHP, for all of our content, all of our podcast and partner links, all of our apparel line. Just ordered some new stuff myself. Just got some hats done up. Should be picking those up tomorrow or Tuesday. So be on the lookout if you want some of the merch. Be sure to hit me up. Definitely can get it. If you definitely from the DMV, you know, I can get it to you somehow. You know, mail it to you, meet up somewhere. It ain't nothing to it but to do it. I got Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle. I got my Square app, so I swipe your debit card. Whatever means you need, and I do accept good old cash. But any means you need to, you know, help support the movement, because, you know, we love doing it, but, you know, to run the operation is not free. There are, you know, stuff that we do pay for to produce this show. So I just dropped some more money. I just got a new camera, some new equipment. So appreciate all the love and support as always. But I'm about to get out of here because we got a Capitals game at 7 o'clock that I'm definitely going to be tuned into. And you know, we'll be sure to break that down tomorrow night. And appreciate y'all checking me out. Appreciate everyone that tuned into the Facebook Live. Sorry I didn't get a chance to jump onto the YouTube Live feed to see if I had any questions on there. But if I do, you know, I hit you back like I always do. Also follow us on Twitter. I might upload this to the podcasting platforms that we have, because it is a great Victory Monday. It's a great game, so maybe I have to document that on there. They're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Just go search Sports OTHP and it'll come up. Go subscribe to the channel and, you know, check out the best DC sports coverage around. DC sports are the politics. It's not just a catchphrase. It's not just a motto. It's what we do. I believe it's tonight. With there's supposed to be a concert in Baltimore next week with one of our affiliates, but unfortunately, just found out it got canceled. So they were going to be performing. This is a group called Riff. If you're familiar, you're an old school head like myself. The movie Lean on Me, the four guys that were singing the song for the school. These are the gentlemen right here, and they're coming out with another album. They were supposed to, like I say, had a concert next week, but unfortunately, for some reason, it was canceled. I'll get more information, see if it's going to be rescheduled. But this track is called Relax, and you know I got to throw a Renegade track on after that. So appreciate y'all checking us out. As always, CP3, live from the lab, Sports OTHP, True Radio Network, and I'm out. See you tomorrow.
What's up? What's up, man?
Seriously?
I've been calling you all day. Listen. I'm in the booth. I'm gonna call you back as soon as I'm done. Give me like 10 minutes.
What do you mean you're gonna call me back? Like, I've been calling you all day. It's been hours. Like, what are you doing?
I know it's your birthday. My apologies. Give me 10 minutes, babe. I'm gonna call you right back.
No, you with them girls, aren't you? I know you with them girls.
Ain't no damn girls in here.
So let me see then.
You gonna do that? You gonna do that to me in front of Chill?
Smooth B in the fellas.
You got me waiting on my birthday, so let me see.
Yeah, no problem. Fellas, say hello.
Hello.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
We working. That's all right, though.
Hey, listen. Hey, give me an hour. I'm gonna call you real quick. Calm down. Relax. I got you.
Hurry up.
Sometimes I don't even come home. get the bud. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings, she giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on a move, that's a digital dash. They been just losing, I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past. I gotta wake up and go get the bud. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings, she giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on a move, that's a digital dash. They been just losing, I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past. But I dish it like I give it and go. Counting money while I chill at the stove. How I deliver, I've been at the dough. It's up to you how business will go. That 36 I get for the low. Count it up, no feelings will show. Spend so much, gotta get it some more. When they hands out, I just give them a no. How they always talk about me, but a nigga stand out. Watch out how you really walk up to me, that's a man down. All these niggas got these drums with them like a band now. I've been doing what I want, that's what you can't doubt. I've been just feeling myself. Do I just really need help? I got my weight up. I be just telling myself I got love for all of my dogs. I take a pay cut. Some niggas really gon' ride. Some niggas really gon' slide. So go say a prayer. We ain't never gotta slap 5. Nigga, just pay your tithes and call me the mayor. I gotta wake up and go get the bud. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings, she giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on a move, that's a digital dash. They been just losing, I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past. I gotta wake up and go get the bud. I gotta go ahead and clip up the smash. She all in her feelings, she giving me sex. I got a slack, 12 on my ass. Count up on a move, that's a digital dash. They been just losing, I'm living these fads. Never go broke cause I got me a stash. I could never ever live in the past.